Welcome back to the haunted road trip across America. This time we've traded the glitz of California for the rugged peaks and old mining towns of Colorado. Known for its breathtaking mountains and rich frontier history, Colorado is also home to legends of greed, betrayal, and restless spirits that refuse to fade. This is a state where fortunes were clawed from the earth and lives were lost in pursuit of gold. Towns sprang up overnight, only to crumble just as quickly when the mines ran dry. With so much hardship etched into the land, it's no surprise that Colorado's history echoes with hauntings. Tonight, we'll step into a cemetery where a mysterious woman in black mourns a grave that time has forgotten, check into a hotel that hosted presidents and still houses unseen guests, and stand on a lonely bridge where phantom drums and cries haunt the night. These are Colorado's 3 most haunted places you've never heard of. Central City Masonic Cemetery. Nestled high in the Rocky Mountains, Central City was once called the richest square mile on Earth after gold was discovered there in 1859. The boomtown grew quickly, with miners, gamblers, and fortune seekers flooding its streets, but prosperity came at a cost. Alongside wealth came fires, accidents, and lives cut short by greed and violence. Many of those lives ended in the cemeteries overlooking the town, including the Masonic Cemetery. It is here that one of Colorado's most enduring ghost stories linger, the Lady in Black. The story begins in the late 1800s with the grave of John Edward Cameron, a prominent young man who died tragically. Soon after his burial, witnesses began reporting a woman dressed head to toe in black, her face hidden by a veil, arriving at his grave. She would lay fresh flowers at the site before disappearing into the distance. What makes this tale so chilling is its persistence. For over a century, visitors to the cemetery have reported seeing a lady in black. Even long after the grave had been nearly forgotten, she returned. Some claim to have watched her vanish before their eyes, fading like smoke in the mountain air. Visitors also report hearing phantom footsteps crunching on gravel paths when no one is near. Cold gusts sweep across the cemetery on calm days, and shadows move between the graves at twilight. Paranormal investigators claim the Masonic Cemetery is alive with activity, from strange EMF readings to photographs capturing unexplained misty forms. Whether the Lady in Black was a grieving lover, a devoted widow, or something more mysterious, her presence has made the cemetery one of Colorado's most haunted sites. Even now, flowers sometimes appear at Cameron's grave, fresh blooms left with no explanation. Would you walk the quiet rows of this mountain cemetery at dusk, knowing that the Lady in Black might be watching from behind her veil? Hotel Colorado. In 1893, the Hotel Colorado opened its doors in Glenwood Springs, designed as a luxurious retreat for wealthy travelers escaping the heat of the cities. Its grand halls hosted presidents like Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft, and its opulent rooms drew socialites from across the country. But beneath the hotel's elegance lies a darker history. During World War II, the hotel was converted into a naval hospital. Its once glittering rooms became wards for the wounded, and its grand ballrooms were filled with beds and medical equipment. It is said that some who died here never left. Guests and staff report countless strange encounters. Phantom children are heard running through hallways, their laughter echoing late at night. Doors open and close on their own. Lights flicker even after the wiring has been checked. In some rooms, guests wake to the sound of voices whispering from just above them, only to find the room empty. The most chilling encounters come from the hotel's basement and former surgical areas. Some staff refuse to go down there alone. Visitors describe sudden drops in temperatures, the overwhelming smell of antiseptic, and even the sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Paranormal investigators claim to have recorded disembodied voices calling out, sometimes in pain, simply saying, "Help." Other spirits are tied to the hotel's early years. Guests have reported seeing a woman in a Victorian gown drifting through the halls, believed to be a former guest or perhaps even the ghost of a socialite who died on the property. Staff tell of unseen hands tugging at their clothing and objects moving without explanation. The Hotel Colorado thrives today as a historic attraction, but for many who visit, it feels as though its past lingers just out of sight. Between the echoes of the wounded and the laughter of children long gone, the hotel carries atmosphere of both grandeur and sorrow. Would you spend the night here, knowing you might not be the only guest in your room? The Third Bridge. On the plains east of Aurora lies a rural stretch of road with a bridge that has gained a terrifying reputation. Known simply as the Third Bridge, it looks unremarkable by day, just a lonely overpass surrounded by fields. But at night, it becomes one of Colorado's most feared haunted sites. The legend of Third Bridge traces back to tales of a Native American massacre in the area. Locals say the cries of those who perished can still be heard on the wind. Visitors who drive across the bridge at night often report the sound of drums beating in the distance, echoing like war drums across the fields. Sometimes the drumming is joined by screams, faint at first, then rising until they seem almost all around you. Shadow figures are also common here. Drivers have slammed on their brakes after spotting dark forms darting across the road, only to find nothing there. Others report headlights suddenly cutting out, radios filling with static, or engines stalling without reason. One of the most chilling aspects of Third Bridge is its unpredictability. Some nights it's silent. Other nights, the activity is overwhelming, disembodied voices, phantom headlights approaching from the distance before vanishing, and an overwhelming sense of dread that makes visitors flee. Paranormal enthusiasts flock here, drawn by the sheer intensity of the stories. Skeptics dismiss the hauntings as legends, fueled by adrenaline and imagination. But for those who have stood on the bridge and heard the drums pounding from the fields, it's hard to deny that something stirs in the dark. Would you cross the Third Bridge at midnight, knowing the echoes of the past might still be waiting? From the veiled figure of Central City's cemetery to the ghostly guest of Hotel Colorado and the pounding drums of the Third Bridge, Colorado's haunted past is as vast and varied as its mountains and plains. Here, history just doesn't whisper, it echoes. So, which of these Colorado haunts would you face first? Would you wander the cemetery at twilight, spend a night in a hotel filled with unseen ghosts, or brave the bridge where drums still beat in the dark? Share your choice in the comments. I'd love to know which one makes your skin crawl. If you're enjoying this haunted road trip, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next stop. From the Rockies, we'll head north into Wyoming, where ghost towns, frontier forts, and more still hold the spirits of the past. Until then, travel safe, sleep light, and remember, the road ahead is haunted.